I have a friend, he's a personal trainer, and he said to me that the single best thing that I could do for my physical health is to do strength training. So, following his advice, what I did was I decided to go back to the gym and do some weights training. Now, an interesting thing happened when I started to do weights again. I actually developed muscles. And the funny thing about having muscles is if people ask me for the time, I can do a bodybuilding pose and say, the time is 7 o'clock. Or if they ask me for directions, I can say, the bus stop is over there. Just right there, turn right. And one day I'll do that. But the one thing I realized though is that if I wanted to gain strength and develop skills in any areas of my life, be it surfing or music or public speaking, I really needed to do the hard work and get on with the training. Now, of all areas in my life, the most important one is spirituality. To me, spirituality is the foundation on which all other areas of my life is built upon. And so it follows that if I wanted to gain spiritual strength and develop spiritual muscles, there really is no getting around having to commit to doing spiritual exercises as a regular practice. Now, as far as spiritual exercises go, my favorite one is the chanting of the word Hugh. Now, I chant Hugh daily. I do it in the morning when I get up. I sing Hugh when I ride my motorcycle, or when I surf, or when I need protection, or any time that I want to connect with Divine Spirit. The Hugh is many things to me. And the one thing I'd like to share with you today is that if I were, say, a diamond in a rough, then the Hugh is like a diamond polisher. It slowly and gently polishes away my outer layers to reveal my true nature. And glimpses of that true nature have showed me that I am love, joy, and freedom. Now, this love, joy, and freedom is not something that I possess. It's not something that I acquire. It's actually what I am. My challenge, however, is that I'm a warrior. Now, that's a warrior with an O, not a warrior with an A, all right? I wish I was a warrior with an A, but I think if I were a superhero, my superpowers would be warring. And people ask me, AJ, what do you worry about? I say to them, what have you got? I'll worry about that too. You see, I worry about everything. I worry about my finances, my health, my business, my relationships, spirituality. One day I found myself worrying that I worry too much. Then I knew I was in big trouble. Thankfully, I have the Hugh, which has given me the strength to overcome fear and anxiety. And it's gradually allowed me to live and embody the love, joy, and wisdom that's my true nature. I'll tell you a story. Earlier this year, I was offered a role in a project in Sydney. And this project was big, it was exciting, it was iconic. I was really happy. Now, 2 weeks later, because of some mix-up with the paperwork, they kicked me out of the project. I was sent home, and I had no income because I own my own business. Now, had this happened a few years ago, I would have had a meltdown, and I would have been totally devastated. But now with the Hugh, I was not totally devastated. I was just really, really, really disappointed. But now I know things happen for a reason, right? And I also suspected that the Eck was up to something. So what I did was I kept up with my spiritual exercises and I redoubled my efforts to find work. And sure enough, 3 weeks later, I was offered a role in another project. A project that's not as big, it's not as iconic, not as exciting as the other one. The role was a step down from my previous role, and I was to report to somebody who in any other project would be 2 levels below where I was. My ego had a huge problem with this. It said, you gotta be kidding me. don't they know who I think I am? But part of me is just really grateful for the opportunity, so I accepted. What happened next, I could not have anticipated. First of all, I was assigned to a project team, which I now believe is the best project team I've ever worked for. Secondly, the project encountered certain complications that allowed me to demonstrate some of my specialist skills. Thirdly, because of that, my role was expanded to include other functions that to me represented a strategic developmental opportunity. And lastly, because of all of that, my contract was extended, so it was something like 15 months, representing the biggest contract I've ever won. Meanwhile, the iconic project I heard was experiencing certain difficulties. Now, could I have engineered something like that myself? I don't think so. The Ek has set everything up for me. All I needed to do was be open to the gifts of spirit and get out of the way. So the Hue has given me the strength to accept anything that life throws at me. And it's given me the clear wisdom of seeing that anything, and in fact everything that happens to me, is the best thing that could ever happen to me. Because at the end of the day, it's for my spiritual benefit. So now there's less worry, there's less fear, and there's more love, joy, and freedom. So I might turn out to be a warrior with an A after all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.